Welcome to All Clear, a firefighter health and wellness podcast. This is You Are Not Alone with our returning guest, Matt Sellers from the North Carolina Firefighter Cancer Alliance. Travis, here with my co-host, Eric. How you doing today, Eric?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Guess who we have back with us today? Oh, you know.
I don't need to guess. I know who we have.
Yes, we have Matt Sellers back with us from Concord, also board member of the Cancer Alliance. How you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing great, guys. Hope you all are.
Awesome. Well, it's good to have you back. I'm glad we didn't scare you off last time.
Oh, yeah.
And like last time, we're actually recording from a firehouse. So if you hear tones, if you hear announcements, hey, you know it's real. We don't pre-record it. So today, I think we're going to be talking a little bit more about peer support. Last time you told us your story, your experiences, and what you learned.
Oh, yeah.
But now that is being translated more into actual action and things that can make an honest difference. And I know you and Eric have been working a lot together, so I am going to let you guys kind of lead the conversation on this one. Eric, why don't you talk a little bit about what you and Matt have been doing, and I'll jump in if anything applies to me.
Thanks. Good to have you back with us, Matt.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
So some of the things that we've been working on is trying to, I know during your story, one of the questions I had for you towards the tail end of that recording that we did with you was outside of the fire department, what kind of support you had in doing what I do with my peer support organization. A lot of people say that they feel like they are alone. And that they're lost, and they don't, until we actually start talking, and they don't really realize that there's help available, or there's people that have gone through the same circumstances, same situations, things like that, right. And can really relate and validate what you may have been going through during your journey. So what we've started doing with the Cancer Alliance is putting a peer program together, strengthening a peer support system for people that get newly diagnosed with a cancer diagnosis or a major life-changing event, and have people like yourself that can help these people go through their process from start to finish. Hey, we're here for you. We're going to support you. You can answer questions because you've been in that same situation.
Right.
And you understand what they're going through, what the process is, answering questions, putting people's minds at ease. Because I'm sure during your situation, there was probably moments where it was like, holy cow, what do I do?
Yeah.
What is this diagnosis? What's it going to be like? How long is it going to take? And who do I turn to when I have questions? So what we were talking about with the support system, building a support system, making sure that you're not completely feeling lost and alone during the journey. You did mention that you had your firehouse family, but really not a whole lot outside of that, except for your faith-based support. Now that you have lived that experience and you've had the outcome that you have, very successful outcome, what would you like to see turn out with the Cancer Alliance, with the peer support program, and how you think that would be beneficial?
Oh, I'd like to see it grow exponentially across the state and even across the United States. Cancer is not just in North Carolina; it's all over, especially in the fire service. I want to be able to touch as many people as I can through the peer support, just so they know that there are others out there, like them, and what we've been through may not be the exact same thing that they're going through, but if they're doing chemo or radiation, that kind of stuff, we can try to help them through that, help the families through that, to let them know. So if you've got a wife, child, whatever, this is kind of things to expect. You're going to have these kind of things, and it's not going to be the best thing in the world that you've ever gone through, but we're going to make it through it, and to help make sure that they stay in that mindset of, we're going to beat it.
So there is value to, even though the person you're working with, they may not have had the same diagnosis that you had, maybe the same type of cancer, but there's enough in common that you're
correct.
Able,
so
you're
it's going to be the same treatments, for a lot of them.
Sure.
Because I had radiation and chemo throughout my journey, so I understand what that stuff does to you. Some chemos are worse than others, but we've been through there, done that. You can expect the mouth sores, and what's the best ways to help get through those, that kind of stuff. People that you had no idea what it would be like, and I can't say enough. Tell them I know it sucks so bad right now, but it's going to get better, and we're going to do it together.
And it's all about planting that seed of hope.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is at that point. Do we truly know what the outcome's going to be? No, but we give them the hope to continue every day and to fight and try to stay as positive as possible. What you're doing now and the push that you're making on the Cancer Alliance side of the peer support team, do you wish that something like that had been in place when you went through your process?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
I went into it blind. Nobody that I knew had ever had cancer before, or had gone through any kind of treatments like that. So I'm going into the whole thing blind, not knowing what's going to happen next. So
you mentioned you mentioned I've been jotting down notes and things like that.
Okay.
And one of my notes is family support. What kind of support did your wife have during the times that you were at the hospital?
Do you have an idea that you can't quite get out of your head and onto paper? Does your department need updated shirts? If so, you need to talk to the guys over at Studio Print Shop. We've been working with the guys at Studio on making some of our ideas become reality. Whether you need screen printing, embroidery, or graphic design, they have you covered. They're even working with the latest direct-to-garment printing technology to make your ideas come true. Check out their link on our website or go to studioprintshop.com and get 10% off your first order when you use the discount code ALLCLEAR. Studio Print Shop, creativity fueled by passion and vision.
Other than family, church, again, kind of like me, not really anything there. We're fortunate enough that, like I had mentioned before, that she would come and could stay at the State Employees Credit Union house down there, and do. She could stay there for free, which was a help with us. That wasn't more of a burden, that she could actually stay there for a couple of days before she had to come back and forth.
And I think that's something that's really relevant moving forward with the peer support team on the Cancer Alliance side of things, is making sure that we have that family support system set up. that we have people that can assist with the family members, because you're going through a difficult time, going through your process, going through the treatment, trying to wrap your head around everything that's going on. And your family members are probably experiencing a lot of the same things and not having that help. So your wife, for example, I believe would be a perfect person to bring in and put on the family support services side, where she could explain to the spouses, hey, this is what our story is, this is what we went through, and we're going to be here to support you just as much as everybody else is here to support your spouse. That's absolutely critical, and I went through that firsthand with my mental health journey. I've been away over 2 months, throughout my process of things, getting treatment, going to different places, things like that. And my wife, back here at home all by herself, and nobody really doing the check-ins, making sure she's okay, things like that. And just having that connection of somebody there to say, hey, we're here. No matter what you need, you have any questions, you need anything. You mentioned your grass being cut, I believe. Yep. Hey, do you need us to cut your grass? Do you need us to take your dog to a vet appointment? No matter what it is, and that feeling that you're going to be able to give to that individual of you are not alone, no matter what it is, no matter how difficult it is. So I truly believe that the family support services is just as important as taking care of the individual that is actually going through the process.
Exactly correct. You're exactly correct. It's got to be there. It takes the whole full circle, right? So it's got to take somebody who's had that experience, like I have, going through chemo, radiation, what have you, and it also have to have that person like my wife, or someone in the family that has been there to help, because that whole situation has got to be on the same wavelength of, yes, we're going to beat it. You can't have a person in the family that's gloom and doom, like, oh gosh, you've got cancer, what are we going to do, da 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 da. But to get everybody on that same thought process of, yep, all right, whatever we got to do, we're going to do it. We're going to stick to it and make it through, whatever we have to do.
And one of the things that I have seen talking to you, talking to other folks in the fire service, especially here in North Carolina, that when you receive a cancer diagnosis, well, your wife essentially receives one. Mm-hmm. Your family does.
Yes.
Your department does. And to a lesser degree, your community does. Now, I know you volunteered Mount Ulla. Mount Morn. Yep. I'm sorry. So how did they react when they found? I mean, it was definitely a crater, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I was actually at Cornelius at that time.
Oh, okay.
We live in Cornelius. And I was working there part-time just about every day, my days off. They were another big support group for me. All those guys were awesome. Did a whole lot of stuff for me. So that, between the city, Concord Fire Department and Cornelius and all those, I had a very tight, support group through them.
So one diagnosis impacts 75 people, really.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No doubt.
Yeah. It truly does. And unfortunately, we don't necessarily see that impact, or we don't think about that impact because we're so wrapped up that, oh my gosh, I just got this diagnosis, or I'm going through this potentially life-changing event right now, and it's me, or me and my family, mm-hmm. and wow, look how many other people that it's affected. Your parents, what would you mind sharing the effect that this maybe had on your parents?
Man, it was I know it was very, very tough on them.
Yeah.
That's like it was really tough.
And that's enough said, brother. You
mean,
don't have to say anything else. You know.
I know. They had their doubts whether I would pull through. Not. I'm sure everybody did, but they didn't make it known or whatever. They were going to stand behind me 110% and do whatever I needed to do. But just having your child, I've never been in that position, and hope I never am, that my own child is in a hospital, laying there, I don't
fighting for their life.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that position, and I could not imagine what was going through their minds, because my parents were there every day.
And family support services right there.
Yes, sir.
We could have people there with your family, checking on their family. If we need to go stay with your family, while they're visiting you at the hospital or whatever else, letting them know that they are not going to walk this journey by themselves.
Exactly.
And to be able to advocate for that, and to be able to fight for that, and see the importance of it, it's invaluable. So I commend you on what you're doing now, back on the job, what you're doing with the Cancer Alliance, with the peer support side. And like you said earlier, we need to keep building this as much as possible. We need to keep doing things just like we're doing right now, with the podcast, going to different events, going to different opportunities to speak on behalf of the importance of this stuff. And I commend you for it, brother.
Well, thank you. I like to talk, so.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're a firefighter.
Yeah, you can't shut me up, right?
So, Matt, one of the things that we've been working on as a collaborative with Eric and his guys has been our RITPAC program.
Yes.
Our Resource Information Toolkit.
Yep.
Now, we are still putting the finishing touches on it. Basically a thumb drive that has resources to help folks out.
Mm-hmm.
So the part that kind of bothers me a little bit is the fact that nobody's asking for it. And it's not because we haven't been telling people.
Yeah.
So what do you think to the chief officer that's listening today, to the company officer, even to the firefighter that's listening, whether it be in North Carolina or California, Washington, pick your place.
Sure, yeah. Insert state here. Right?
Yeah, exactly. What is it important for them to understand when it comes to peer support?
So they have got to understand, and I think they do. And I don't want to say cancer is new to the fire service, but in the last 5 years, right? Probably, it has become more prevalent in the fire service, or we've noticed it
paying more attention to it.
Paying more attention to it.
And the thing that bothers me, and when I say this, take it for what it is, cancer is cool. Like, if you go to any of the conferences, every bunker gear vendor, everybody's got snake oil.
Yes, sir.
That they're wanting to sell.
Yep.
And that bothers me because cancer is not a sales tool.
Right, you're right.
People are affected by it.
Yes.
And sometimes I think it gets glassed over. And unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at in some places. But, like you said, in the last 5 years, more people are listening.
Right, and which is great. And I'm glad that there's companies out there that are actually trying to do something for the good, but it's not a tool to make money.
Exactly.
And I understand that. But like with this RIT pack that this coming up, every chief in the state should have one at all times. Have it there so when one of his folks get diagnosed, they go straight to him or her and say, "Here, take this, go through it, It's got videos on it. You get to see my pretty face and hear me again.
You get to see Eric, too.
Yeah, you get to see
and
Eric,
his beautiful
too.
mustache, if you haven't already seen it in all its glory.
But you'll get a lot of great information on there about information that, to go to the state for the cancer policies that's come into effect here lately. Just a lot of great information to help. How to get a hold of excuse me there, I couldn't talk. How to get a hold of us, peer support.
ncfirefightercancer.org. You go there, you'll find us.
There you go.
And we're not far away. But you were mentioning the cancer insurance program.
Yes.
Here in North Carolina.
Yes.
We've been having conversations with Jackie Ireland and VFIS,
Yeah.
who are the ones that are administering this, and they've included us in their informational thumb drives that they gave out it would have been early this year at Midwinter Chiefs.
Yep, Midwinter.
And Eric and his team with the First Responders Peer Support Network are recognized as the go-tos when it comes to dealing with the mental health aspects.
Oh yeah, they're the best.
We've been identified as the ones to help out with peer support here in the state of North Carolina, and that's not a light load to bear, because there's a lot of responsibility that goes with that. And you and I have taught one program. Me and Eric have taught another program, but it all deals with we talked about the leadership. And Eric, when we taught it back at Cape Fear, good response. I know you said there were people that typically don't open up, started talking about how mental wellness comes in and how to have the hard conversations as a company officer or a chief officer. And when we taught that at Midwinter Chiefs, it was well received.
Very much, yeah.
And people are willing to learn. They understand there's a need for peer support, but like you mentioned, sometimes they just don't know it's there.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. And Eric, what else do you think we could do? Cancer is our kind of what we focus on, but you do the whole mental health spectrum. What do you think we can do together to be able to reach out and get our message out and help people to see the resources that are available, if not just here in North Carolina, but how to ask the right questions in other states?
Doing what we're doing. We keep pushing forward. We keep pushing as hard as we can on it. This is real. It's not going away. We're not going away because we have that passion for it, that people need to know this information. And getting back to the RIP pack really quick. Matt, you mentioned that everybody should have that, which I completely agree with. But they need to know the information that's in it beforehand. That we are really good at being reactive in helping people once they get in trouble. But what can we be doing to prevent people from getting in trouble? So going through that RIP pack and seeing some of the things that we have in there on procedures on how to decontaminate. We're doing the prevention side of things there.
Right.
How do we maybe build a mental health resiliency program in our departments, in our organizations, so our people are mentally prepared for these calls that we're going on, and they can build some resiliency and have that bounce back after these bad calls, or maybe after a bad diagnosis, where it doesn't automatically just wham, it's a crashing halt. You just hit a wall at 100 miles an hour. What do we do? What you mentioned during your process, Matt, of the financial end of things, the paperwork end of things, stuff like that. What are you going to do if you have somebody that needs to go out on a medical disability retirement, or we're looking to put somebody on workman's comp, or we need to file for financial assistance through the State Firemen's Association, through the Firemen's Relief Fund, things like that? These should all be instinctive responses. Yes, I know what to do. you as the individual requesting that information shouldn't be getting a look like deer in the headlights of, oh my gosh, I don't know how to handle this particular situation. That information is all out there. We have some of that information in that RIP pack. Go ahead, request it. We can get it to you. Learn it. Have it there available. Hopefully you'll never have to use it, but you'll already be familiar with it when that situation, if and when it ever occurs.
And the other thing is, when we talk about the peer support program, it's not just, hey, I got the diagnosis, I need support.
Yeah.
But if you have a chief officer, one of my guys has it, could you talk to him? Call us.
Yeah.
Contact us. We'll help with that too, because we understand cancer is not just a single person ordeal.
So have chiefs, if you're out there listening, and you have somebody that's diagnosed, contact me, contact us, me, whoever. We'll either contact you back and try to ask if it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not going to bombard this person, but talk to them. Say, hey, we're here. If you would like to talk, I'm here. If you need me to do anything for you, I'm here. That kind of thing. So yeah.
And go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
It's not like I like people to be in bad positions, bad situations, getting medical diagnosis or whatever else, but that's why we're here. And this is kind of one of those things that, the passion for the job, I'm no longer on the job anymore. And what I'm doing with the peer support stuff, this is my new passion. And I live for the moments where I get to have those connections with people. And I know that I might be able to help them through their journey. And at a minimum, just let them know that they're not alone. That we're here for you. We're going to do whatever we can. And we plant that seed again. I think that those are things that we need to be doing.
Yeah, and I love talking with people, but if I didn't have to talk to a single person about cancer, nobody ever had it. That'd be the best thing.
It wouldn't hurt your feelings, right?
Yeah, but I'll talk to you anyway. About anything else, but yeah, to be there, and if we can get it out however we can, whether it be through your podcast, website, Chiefs conventions, whatever, come, all the fire expos, conventions that are around, that we set up at, we're there. Come talk to us, figure out, what you can do.
How can we help you?
Right. How can we help you?
And the thing is, not just people in North Carolina are listening to this podcast.
Right.
If you're from another place,
and
you want to start a peer support program, talk to us.
Yes, sir.
We can help you
do
sort
whatever
that
we
out.
can do for you.
Now,
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that's very unique, I think, about the peer support that we're doing with here in North Carolina. Now, Matt, we have had, and I'm using air quotes, formal training.
Right.
In how to handle peer support, how to vet people, how much do we help.
Mm-hmm.
I think you remember when we did that. That was before we were allied up with Eric and his teams. You said to me one day, what they're teaching is great. But there was days I just wanted to be left alone.
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody to call me.
Yep.
But then there were days that I wanted to talk all day.
Yep. You'll have both of those days. Yeah.
So if you don't have people that understand the problem or have experienced the problem, that can slow down the efforts and make it less effective.
Yeah. And then you're going to push those people even that farther away, which we don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly. So, with the RIT pack, we've got a lot of peer support stuff coming up. I know you're going to be helping us out on our Fire Within program. I know Eric and I were writing some stuff, and at Safer in Raleigh coming up in August, we'll be showing a little bit more of this. And it's an exciting time to be in the fire service. We are not misled to believe that we're going to cure cancer. We're not going to. We're not going to stop it. We're not that smart.
Right.
But doggone, we can reduce exposures. when we find somebody that's got it, we can talk to them. We can do the best we can to support and help.
Exactly.
That's what we're here for. And like I said, you are definitely a warrior in that, and we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Joy Ponder.
Joy.
If I don't mention
she's great.
her, she might throw something at me.
She's fantastic for you Western North Carolina folks.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to have her on the podcast one day. Maybe we get you two together. That might be kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so Eric, thank you for what you're doing with us. And we're going to continue to push and help people understand the importance of getting the information. If it's not the RIT pack in your hands, talk to VFIS here in North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
They'll get you over to us, or again, ncfirefightercancer.org. So that's where we're at. Eric, why don't you plug your website where they can also get more info on the mental health and wellness side?
They can look us up on the internet at frpsn.org, and that is our website. We are currently changing some things, so please don't hold that against our website right now. But the easiest way to get in touch with me is through my email address, and that is info@frpsn.org.
Absolutely. And for me, for Travis, it's t.mcgaha@ncfirefightercancer.org, or Matt Sellers at m.sellers@ncfirefightercancer.org. Now, before we go, two things.
Here it comes.
See, I fooled you.
I was here for the last one, so I can't wait for this one.
I'm not going to tell you the joke yet, but you will get it in a minute. But what I was going to tell you is we do have a Patreon account set up now, and this is a bit of a call to action for firefighters. If you guys can help us out just a little bit, we don't like to beg for money. All we want to do is keep the lights on here, keep the pirate ship floating here with the podcast.
Yep.
A couple dollars a month if you can, one-time donation, greatly helpful.
Yes.
And that's all we're going to say for that. But if you go to our website, you can figure out how you can donate and help us. And the great part is there are tiers on Patreon, and if you go to $5 a month, you can actually sponsor a dad joke. Mm-hmm. Hey, Eric, did I tell you about the dream I had last night?
No, and I don't know if I want to hear it.
Oh, well, I dreamed I was drowning in an ocean of orange soda. But then I woke up and realized it was just a fantasy.
Wow.
You can thank Brad Hunt for that one. I stole
Oh,
it.
that was Brad's? Okay.
That was Brad. And if y'all don't know Brad, you'll get
Well, I'll see Brad in a couple weeks down in Charleston at the Behavioral Health Summit, so I'll give him a bonk on the head for that one.
Oh, absolutely. But again, Matt, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank
you,
you,
Matt, again for all that you're doing. And this is All Clear, and we appreciate y'all taking time to listen.
Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
You have been listening to All Clear, presented by the North Carolina Firefighter Cancer Alliance and the First Responder Peer Support Network. Please rate us on your podcasting app of choice. This show is written and produced by Travis McGaha and Eric Stevenson and recorded on Riverside FM. See you soon.